and goodness knows whether we are live yet. So I'm hitting go live now. It tells me that it's going. I'm waiting for the red button. So howdy, I'm Matt. Welcome to this collection of RC Mail episode on steroids. Now, those of you which are joining me, this is being recorded live. There is no real script to this at all. We're going to wing it because I've been away on holiday for a week, as you may tell from the tan, and an absolute shed load of mail has been and turned up. Now, those of you which are on the live version, if you can let me know if the audio's good, that will be fantastic. Thank you very much. So you may notice me looking at my phone. I used to use the iPad, but you can't use the chat on the iPad anymore, so I'm having to use my mobile phone. So I will do my best to keep an eye on your chats. Now, you will see down the right-hand side of your screen is a live chat there, so you can chat with fellow pilots here in the background about any topic as you fancy, as long as you keep it kind of on topic with RC. Does that make any sense? Now, before we go any further, and I am doing a best just to keep an eye... Sounds good, thank you, by the way. Stuart Sutherland, thank you. I'll get my phone out of the way. Before we go any further, this live episode is going to be in two parts. And there's also a key thing which I want to stress as well, which is that all of the bits we're about to see have all been bought out of my own money for my own abuses, something which I like to, as many of you know, keep 100% transparency. This has been... from the very beginning, self-funded to amuse myself in many ways. So that's priority number one. First part of this will be taking a look at a collection of, I'm going to call them birds. They might be the T word, which I'm not going to say because one video cost me an awful lot number of subscribers. So I need to rework a specific series. And that kind of goes into the second part of this live event. There is some news which I need to share with you as well on a more serious topic. So looking forwards to the future. But let's not worry about that now because we need to clear the decks down, to say the least. So, like I said, I'll be doing my best to keep an eye on your chat. And, of course, you can see the chat going down the right-hand side of your screen. I can't see it. I've got to present and try and read tiny little text. Rob Rose says... No cars, I hope, Matt. No, I don't think there are any cars in here. Oh, do you know what? I take that back. There might be two cars in here. In fact, fingers crossed, there are two cars in here. And I'll tell you why. It's because my daughters have been out and they absolutely love the... Did you see the unboxing of the HPI Bullet? They really like the HPI Bullet. But the problem is, it was £310 worth. £310 worth in my daughter's hand, but either of them is not the best idea Daddy has ever had. But Daddy, actually, fingers crossed, it is in here. Daddy did buy 2 remote controls off Banggood, remote control cars off Banggood, and fingers crossed they're in there so they don't play with the expensive one. And then for whatever, I think $45 or whatever it was, they can trash that all day long, and I'm not going to lose any sleep. So, Rob, on a serious note, we might have 2 cars in here, but we got some the birds in here as well. So, Stuart says, and again, you can see this going on in the chat. Matt, where do you store your models apart from those down in the dirt? Now, Stuart, that's actually a very serious question, and I'll answer that on a serious nature. I've got some racking up behind here. And most models are in there. However, I am pretty good at getting rid of models which I don't like. And, well, I'm not going to say don't like, I just don't really fit the strain of myself. Now, it's a bit awkward because, I will get to some unboxing in a moment. Like we said, we'll do a bit of chat as well. Is that I do my best to go through, and the models which I like, they stay, and the models which I don't like, go. Now, there's actually a bit of an unfortunate one. It's going to make great video, though, for you. Tomorrow is that I've got 3 models which are going to be dispatched back to their maker. Yeah, we'll wrap that up in a I don't know when I'm going to put it in one video or more. I don't know yet, but I just know that I've got 3 decent-sized models which are all going to go off and meet their maker. Also, some of you may know, and like I said, we will get to this in a moment, you may know about the full-size Sky Hunter. There will be a video out tomorrow night saying that one's going to find a new home as well. You'll find out the reasoning behind that too. So Stuart, great question. Just got to be harsh if that makes sense. Again, it's not like I'm not spoilt for choice of which models I want to fly. So it's got to be good for it to stay in the hangar. Now there's a real oddity over there actually, which is the Phoenix 2000, which is I've had it since quite early on, I think, and I've just realised I've taken a tip off it. Anyway, it's a really, really good model. It's not what you would class as rag the nuts off fast, but it's great for just chucking into the sky. It's very docile, and when you want to chill out, you can do that. And in saying that, you can be a bit mattish with it as well. Like I said, the last but one time I took it out, I was trying to chop the tail off going across the flight line in the wires. But I didn't succeed, well, thankfully, and it's still here in one piece. So, I tell you what, let's put that down. Let's get to some unpackaging. I'm going to go with the small stuff first. Now, I have no idea what's turned up, okay? Hopefully, there's 2 cards in there so the kids don't trash mine. And hopefully, there's some models for the B or T, or the bot series, which is now not going ahead any further, so we'll have to pick up something for that one. But on a serious point, I've got no idea what's in these. I suspect most of them are from Banggood. And I've just put a generic link in the video description. Sometime tomorrow or the day after, I'll go back and update it with specific links. But I'm pretty sure the vast majority of this can be found on the old intervals. So we'll get that out of the way. Oh! I said Banggood. Actually, a little tip for you is that, you know, you'll notice that we've got 2 cameras. One of them is the main camera, which I'm on. Hello, I'm Matt, by the way. And the other one is that we've got a top camera as well, so you can see what's going on here. Now, these little battery alarms is that if you go to buy them on Banggood or Hobby King or somewhere else, they're really bloody expensive, like £4. Stupid money, stupid money. Instead, and it's these ones which we're talking about, these little Lipo connectors, which you can set. You press the little button on the top up there. And you'll set the battery alarm for different voltages. Normally I set mine to 3.6 volts. If you go on eBay, you can buy them for 99 pence each. Hence why I've got 3 here. And I had 3 more arrive a couple of days ago. So, well, before I went on holiday. So do shop around. Well, these ones specifically, because you can buy them for £1 each from eBay. And that was the cheapest I could find them. On Banggood, I think they were $4, and they were about £4 or something like that on Hobby King. So it does pay to shop around from time to time, and that was an eBay seller. I don't know which one. Let's just go for the cheapest. You know, just sort by lowest price plus postage first, and mine was free shipping. So happy days on that front. And next one, no idea what we got in here. We're going to take a look. What the? Genuinely got no idea what's in this one at all. Well, in fact, I'm a little bit worried. What the? Do you know what? This is bound to be one. This is bound to be. Oh, I know. Oh, wow. God's sake, do not buy that. So this is one of the downsides of buying stuff from abroad, is that sometimes you really just genuinely got no idea what's going to turn up, and you'll be able to see that on there. You've just got no idea what's going to turn up like, and you've got no idea what the packaging is. And this is one of those super capacitor model airplanes. Now, I bought it for a laugh, and it's here, and it's turned up. There's nothing to hold it flat, and it's all bent to... I'm not going to say that word. It's not straight. So, yeah. What, 1 out of 10 for packaging? Let's not write it off just yet. And I bought that for the bot series, which, like I said, the bot series is not going on anymore. So we'll find that one a new home, and it might get sent into space with a rocket. But we'll find out about that later. So yeah, little that's the super capacitor one, and it's not really that super, because that super capacitor is absolutely tiny, and the model is bent more than a gay fish. So. Hey ho, moving on, let's take a look at the next one, and I will pause for a moment just to have a quick look at your chat as well. So that was the super capacitor one. Now there was 2 like that on Banggood, and I bought them both because they were only a couple of dollars each, and I thought I'd have a punt on them, if anything, just to rip the pee out of the product itself. But, oh no, oh actually this one's been turned up. Now that is very odd. I bought these on 2 different listings on the Banggood site, and they've both been turned up, and they're both exactly the same. Let me just go and check the part numbers on the back. because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they've sent... I bought two different versions, and I'll update this later, and they've sent exactly the same product. There is no way in a Blue Monkeys I would have bought two of exactly the same item, but they've been and sent two of the same. One is bent to a fish, and I've got mine out, it's the laptop down there, and the other one's actually managed to survive it through the postal service. That, and again, sometimes it's rolling a bit of a lottery when it comes to the stuff which you'll be buying online, but sometimes it turns up on one piece. But hey, look, if you don't stick it in a box, we're not going to get on very well at all, are we? Rocket sounds perfect. Cocoon 123, absolutely. Dave, looking forward to speaking to you later. I'll give you a shout afterwards, mate. Yeah, Rocket sounds perfect. Happy days. So anyway, this again, I'm trying to put that out of the way just in case it gives that horrible microphone noise on the doodah. Right. They've kind of wrapped one really well here. No idea what that's going to be. It's one of those... Do you reckon they pre-packed this stuff? Because I've got an outer packaging here with an inner packaging which has been kindly... Oh, I know what that is. I've just seen it. Again, I went on a bit of a buying spree because I was going to do the BOT series, and yeah, that didn't go down very well on YouTube, so might want to call it something else. Well packed, well bent. So let's not go into this. Take a closer look at this one. So this is bent and broken, as you may be able to see in the camera above. I don't want to damage it too much, but that's the little X-plane, which the packaging is absolutely rubbish. It would probably be fine if it was in a retail store, but this one I'll send to you, Banggood. It's bent and broken. You did try to repair it, but hey-ho. So let's not write it off as too much of a write-off. Well, I'll need to take a closer look. But that's the little X-Wing one. Some of you may have noticed it. Like I said, I went through all the cheap models which were $25 or less, and I bought them all for RC model airplanes. And the reason why I bought them all is because there's... Well, number one, nobody else has done it. And number two, I was kind of curious. And number three, let's face it, only in a couple of months' time, it's going to be Christmas. And it's going to be really nice for me to say that this one's good and this one is rubbish for those of you looking to buy Christmas presents. And that is a very serious thing. So if we can do it now, later on in the year, when it's come like D-Day and when you want to buy your daughter, your son, your nephew, your niece, or whoever, maybe the wife, something for them to fly, you're going to know whether it's good or not. So first impressions, that green little, they call it a drone, 4-channel remote control quadcopter, which looks like an X-Wing. First impressions are not good. So I'll put that one to one side because I think this, it could be saved, and it does look minor, but it's one of those, is that do you want little Billy opening it up on Christmas morning and finding out it's bent to whatever, like that fish we mentioned earlier. And yeah, we don't really want that to happen. You don't want that to. I don't want that to happen. So hence why we're doing this. This one does look a little bit more promising. What we got? Oh, what? Oh, hello! I've seen one of these. In fact, I should have asked Andy when I was if I could have borrowed it or not. So this is the. That looks nothing like what's in the box. Right, this is the transport aircraft, the C-17. And I've already seen one of these fly, and it flies really well. And I'm actually very impressed by the packaging, because it's not turned up, and it's not been like the Flash-free models, which has been mullered. So we could be on a bit of a contender here, although it has taken a bit of a beating during transport, which, let's face it, likes of Banggood, Gearbest, etc., are not likely to be sending us out rubbish products. Stuff just get damaged in the mail, and it has had to travel a very long distance, which is basically halfway around the world, give or take a few kilometres. Anyway, let's have a quick nose at this one. Oh, definitely looking promising because it's in a polystyrene shell. So, oh, come on! Got to make sure we don't stab myself. Got to make sure. Sorry, you didn't hit that, did you? Sometimes I forget I'm live half the time. Right. Come on. Right, so that was the C-17 little aircraft. There's something rattling around in there. Looking good so far. Like I said, I've already seen one of these. And it did fly rather well. Now, I'm not going to go and put this thing together right now because there's a collection of bits in here, but I'll stick the wings on so you can at least have a laugh, look at the model itself. So, there you go. Don't be dismissive with what we've got here because, like I said, I've already seen this thing fly and it actually flew all right. So, happy days. Oh, and we get a little Lipo, which is in there as well, which they kindly glued in. I don't know why. We get a 300 milliampere 1S battery. So that's nice. We get the battery in there. So I'm assuming underneath... Oh, look, we got a little flight controller. No, sorry, not flight controller. We've got a receiver. And actually, first impressions, we were chatting about opening a box for Timmy on Christmas Day morning, as Santa's been. And a direct delivery from China. That looks like it could be fun with a tiny little bit of glue to put this together. It's a little bit more involved. I kind of like it so far. Like I said, I've already seen this one fly. I'm a little bit impressed with that one already. So I think this might be a good one, but I'm not going to pass final comment on that one. That was the C17 or something. So thumbs up on that one. What we've had, 3 pants one and 1 good one. And I'll pop to your comments now as well. So let me just go move this out of the way. And then we'll take a look, see at what else we got. So, before I've done that, let me go and check your comments because I want to keep on there. Fly or float, that could be the one. Cocoon123 got a beating from Lauren. Oh, poor dude. Were you rude? Moving on. EV username says, I really need to know which Christmas presents to buy myself. And again, that was a semi-serious point on that one. Tilt the cam down towards you a bit. It is what it is. I'm not mucking around with cameras right now, but thanks for the feedback, by the way, Ken. Brilliant. Stuart says, I think you need to go on holiday if that's what's been arrived while you're away. Absolutely. So, anyway, let's press on. Let's have a quick look. Like I said, I am kind of rooting. We're going to have 2 remote control cars in here, so I can leave those for the kids to play with. They don't take out the bullet. Oh, what's this one? Has anybody seen one of these before? As you can tell, I was buying on a budget for a series, which is a bit frustrating on that one. Oh, it's one of them! Well, apologies. It's one of them. You seen one of those yet? I haven't seen one of those yet. That was one which I almost didn't buy because they didn't have in stock at the time. I stuck it in my wish list and literally the next day it was back in stock again. So this is the FX808, I think. Could be a mini little Red Baron. Again, like the packaging. Box did take a bit of a beating. It's got a polystyrene frame on it, so chances are it's going to turn up with us in one piece. We get a transmitter and we get the cutest little thing in here as well. Again, it's going to be oh, there's just no weight to this at all. It's arrived to us in one piece. That's happy days. And we will look at these properly later. It's got 2, I'll put that on the top camera. There we go, 2 little motors on the back. So it'll be differential thrust, which is, those of you which know about differential thrust, is that it's completely anemic, aka useless to a high degree. But on tiny little models like this, it does kind of work quite well. Or unless you're on a landing strip and you want to turn your model around on the ground, that does work, especially in conjunction with a nose wheel or a rear tail wheel. It does work quite well. So actually, this one looks kind of promising. What was that? The FX808. Yeah, how peculiar. That one could be a good choice for a Christmas present, by the way. Well, assuming that it flies all right and there's some Chinese instructions on the back, which also come in English, so let's not take the yellow stuff out of that too much. And I will look at these in more detail. The not so good ones will get dispatched to their maker, and the half decent ones, we'll have a proper look at them and see what we've got in here. Oh, what we got in this one? Again, this was going the $25 route down on Banggood, and if it looks half decent or half rubbish, I bought it anyway. And it was just in the RC Planes category. So we'll take a look at this one as well. Again, nice to see. Polystyrene. Look at those bits of rubbish we had to begin with. And these have actually been packed with some common sense. Come on. to the point that one doesn't want to come out. Ah, look. Obviously, the same manufacturer. That's happy days. It's got Flybear on it. Now, I remember Flybear. I've had another one of their Flybear models before, and it actually flew all right. So, again, dinky toy. Think about little Timothy on Christmas morning. Would he be able to chuck it and fly it? This one doesn't look like it's got any gluing required. And differential thrust again. Light. Actually, it's EPP foam, so it should be pretty tough. Got the transmitter, little bag with a charger, spare propellers and landing gear. Again, looks really promising, assuming that the battery's not already dead, which I had on one of the other models and we turned it into a boat. So thumbs up for that one. No idea what that was. I'll have a quick look at the box. Like I said, I've come home from holiday. And literally this whole lot has just been turned up. So I'm just going to put that to one side. No idea which one that one. The box looks like that. And it's it's an FX807. It says down here on the box. There's some other ones which we've got on here as well. That one actually that's the Chuck Glider. That's the FX801. We've got an 802, which is like a general grade aeroplane. And then we got this purple thing, we got the blue one, but we got the blue one there, 807, really like the packaging, no idea if it works, fingers crossed it does, so that could be a good prezi for Timothy, assuming it works, and we'll do a proper follow-up with these later. Right, moving on. Those of you which has just been turned up, just to give you a heads up, this is being recorded live. I've been away on holiday for a week. These are cheap, inexpensive models which I've bought from Banggood out of my own money for my own abuses. I can tell you several of them will be abused very quickly, one way or another. We've had an interesting journey so far. The first one really didn't turn out to be very good, very much of an RC model at all. The second one, I started ironing it. I had to iron it. What a joke. But it did fly. Right, I bought this in pink. Right. So we were using the scenario that it's Christmas morning, or it's coming up to Christmas, and you don't know what to buy your Timmy, your son, or your niece, your nephew. But you could be looking something for your niece. And I saw this, and I thought, what a interesting model. On the premise that we can have a look at these models now, so when it does come around to Christmas or birthdays or something like that, is that you know which ones are good and which ones are not so good. Try not to break it. I am really curious on this one, so I want this one out so we can have a look. So if those of you which haven't seen this, I've got no idea. Oh, in fact, I do have an idea whether this is going to fly or not, because what's his face? Chris from iForce 2D. Bought one of these ages ago and it did fly. So hopes are high. I don't want to break it on the way. Whoops, too late now. We'll poke that out. You'll be able to see this on the top camera. Take a look at that. Now this one's such an oddity because it doesn't have a wing like per se like anything else which we've seen. Is that it flaps up and down. In fact, there's a tiny little gear mechanism in there, which you're really not going to see even on that camera, in the top, just up in there, which you're not going to see it really in there. But it did fly, so fingers are crossed, hopes are high. Hopes are not high now that I've been and seen that controller. I'll give you a heads up. So far, the models which I've seen with that type of controller, so they'll see that push button and that funny up and downy doodah, have not been very good quality, to say the least. So maybe that is a mark of not very goodness. Need to keep it family friendly and all that. So I'm just going to put that to one side as well. The missus is going to chuck a mental one when she comes in the morning. In fact, I'll leave that pink one on the top. There's a charger for that one as well. The missus is going to go mad when she comes in the morning because there's just going to be a load of little model airplanes chucked over. So if I put the pink little birdie one on the top, she'll go, "Ew, what's this?" And then hopefully she'll get excited and Matt won't get in the doghouse. Anyway, moving to your comments for a moment. So as I've been here chatting away, we've got one more to go. you've been seeing the live chat going on down the left-hand side of your screen. Zenith says, loads of micro models. Absolutely. Kelly Craft, eat your heart out. Never heard of that one. Chris says, good luck remembering which transmitter goes with which plane. I'm going to tell you, Chris, right now, some of them won't need transmitters. Only a box of matches or a cigarette lighter. Anyway, we'll save that for a later. Elbar Tox obviously has a small, tiny penis. And it's been a knob. Oh dear. Just put on there. Do they sell an air gun with that flappy thing? Good sports. That's not a bad idea. Imagine trying to hit that thing as it flaps around the sky. It should be good fun. That would be good fun. My daughter Alicia's loving the little butterfly birdie. Daddy might have to order one. ... So it does sound like, yeah, it could work. Bernie, so yeah, like I've said, I've kind of seen one flying before. I bought a pink one on the premise that I don't think it's a load of rubbish, and it would be really, really good fun for the kids. So anything to get the kids involved in what I'm doing, in the hobby, or at least one hobby which I enjoy, is only got to be a good thing, isn't it? And again, I don't know how much it was specifically, but it would have been $25 or less. So that's 20 quid in UK pesos. Okay. Let's have a quick look. Tim says, just got back from holiday. That's why there's been no coffee chats. Absolutely. Evening, by the way. Bernie says, will any bind to a multi-protocol module? Bernie, I would bet good money that all of these would get to one of those multi-protocol modules. So if you don't know what we're talking about, say, for example, on the Tyrannus or whatever, when you've got the JR bay in the back, is that you can buy a multi-protocol board which goes on the back for about 15 quid, something like that, maybe $20 tops. And then you can run lots and lots of models off one module. So that those tiny little micro quadcopters, which you can buy for like $10 and stuff like that, you can use those, and you can buy other like WL toys and stuff like that. They do like 20 some different protocols, maybe even more, whole different collection of models. So Bernie, I would strongly suspect that one of them will work. I don't know which one, but just because these things aren't using rocket science to fly, you know. They'll be just off-the-shelf, cheapest Chinesium components to make it work. So I suspect they're probably using all exactly the same boards, to be honest, or something very similar. There was only one oddity, which was on, I think it was the C17 one, which was a board which I've not seen before. The other ones looked like they're all 2.4. And yeah, so Bernie, great question. Chances are yes. Cocoon says, ever tried IC aircraft? Yes, my dad owned an IC aircraft. If you look up Cement Mixer on my channel, you'll see what I did with the last IC aircraft, which I own. Really not for me, but please don't take that against myself or against IC aircraft. I understand fully why people enjoy them and fly them and like the smell, like the noise, the look and stuff like that. But for me, it's really not my cup of tea, especially if you consider how far along electric has come for RC models. And that's not only boats, that's RC cars, and of course RC aircraft as well. Lipos really have changed things. And hopefully over the next couple of years, Li-ion batteries, as they become more cheap, more affordable, is that, yeah, that will hopefully up things as well. And I don't want to use that because that was the instructions for that ortho, whatever it was. I want to say it was about to say orthodontist, but it's not, the orthocopter or whatever it's called. Last one is the F16 Thunderbirds. This is the FX823. Like I said, no idea what it's going to fly like. It cost me $25 a lot or less. And we'll find out if it's any good or not. I tell you what, it's probably going to be quite good compared to the other bits of poop which we've had, because it's come in a plastic tray. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, this looks good. This one's got my attention. So last one looks like a bit of a fighter jet. Oh, why did I buy this one? Oh, I bought this one because I was going to soup it up. Yeah, we'll do that. There's quite a bit of weight in this one. Or gravity, as some might say. There's quite a bit of weight in that. Genuinely speaking, is that if it looks like it's going to... Oh, they've put a condom on the end. Hello. Look. It's got a nose job. Anyway, generally speaking, if it looks like it's going to fly, like that does, if I put that up on the top camera, if it looks like it's going to fly, it probably is going to fly. Like I said, I'm a bit surprised there's quite a bit of gravity in this one, considering its size. It's only got a 1S battery pack. What size battery in there? 400 milliamperes, so not massive. Again, it's just going to be turn the thing on the bottom and off we go. Probably got some rubbish landing gear in here, but actually that one looks quite promising. And the reason why I was eyeing up this one is that I thought I could stick a nice big, well, in proportion, a nice big motor on the back and give it a chuck and off it goes. So, oh, it even comes with the good stuff. Hello. It's going to go into Matt's special private stash. We'll soon find out. We're not going to get it in the stash if you can't actually poke the end of it or not. So that's a bit of fell. And as many of you know, there are different grades of glue. There's the good stuff and there's the boring stuff. Oh, wow. That is illegal in every state bar Texas. That glue's awful stuff. Yeah, we'll save that to Matt's special collection for rainy days or pick me up moments. Anyway, transmitter. Well, you only got left and right. And you've only got up and down. That's actually quite nice. You've got a knob which doesn't actually do anything in there and a big pushy button in the top. Actually, out of everything which I've seen so far, that is the best controller, well, one of the better ones, because it's like a bit of an Xbox controller. And it's got the guides on it, so it only goes left and right and only goes up and down. So that's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, a little tip for you. If you buy any of these things and like wonder how it works, generally speaking, when you power on both the model and the transmitter, is that you need them both powered on, and you go up and you go down on the throttle, and that's normally what binds them. That's what every single one like this I've been aboard has been and done that. So yeah, that little fighter jet, that was the FX823, is looking pretty good. Obviously, I've not been and flown this or any of the other ones, and I'd like to just stress that is that that's a big point, is that all of these have been bought out of my own money, definitely for my own abuses. Some of them are going to survive, some of them may not. We will find out in the near future. And I think it goes to highlight is that there is a heck of a difference between, could be, only a couple of dollars and a couple of different models. So yeah, that one's gone back in the box. It even took a whack during the mail, during its journey here. But it's been survived it down to good packaging. Some of the ones which we've seen here, like that little black X-Wing, it looks great on the photos on the website. In reality, it's just the packaging is just not designed for transport. In fact, that little flappy pink thing, I'm actually surprised it got here in one piece, because to be honest, it's just a bit of plastic on the top, and chances of that one getting damaged is probably quite high. So I think I've been a little bit lucky with that one. But that FX, whichever one we just saw, 823, somewhat goes pop, looks pretty good. So there we go. We've had a right collection of models turn up. Now, I am just going to pause for a moment, like you've been seeing going down the right-hand side of your screen. There's a live chat going on there. I've not been looking at that one. Tim says, is that an EDF? No, that's a... I didn't point it out. 2 little brushed motors on the back, differential thrust, only going to be, of course, all of those are only going to be good for the lightest of wind days. First thing in the morning or later in the evening, they'll be perfect for stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. So good question on there. Even has a rocket socket on the back. Yes, it could be funny. Fun, that's for sure. Yes, indeed. Right. On that note, we've got topic number 2 for us to cover here this evening. So, all of those models were bought for a series called Bird, or I'm not going to say the other word, because the other word got me in quite a lot of trouble. A couple of people have picked up that the YouTube channel dropped about 1,700, so that's 1,700 subscribers within 24 hours of posting one video. That's kind of set alarm bells off in the back of my head. And like I said, many of you know that I've been away for a good couple of days. And well, some of you have kind of guessed that I've not been posting stuff. And I have had some time to reflect on what I'm doing. I've been a look through the numbers. And again, I just want to keep this, as many of you know, I do my best to keep this as open and as honest as possible with you. When I remember those 3 founding factors, what was it? Be humble, never lie, and be me. Okay, so that was the 3 fundamental factors, so like the underlying hidden agenda, if that makes sense. And it has caused us issues with specific reviews because I've got models here which I've bought, and my personal opinions have varied greatly to some who have been given the models for review, and that has been interesting. However, looking at the numbers while I've been away is that some videos, if they do quite well, I'll earn $3 from Google Ads. Some other ones I'll earn $1. So to be honest, I think this episode will be $1.51 by the end of the month. Okay, so, and this one's a little bit odd because it's live and there's no editing. It's just me with some stuff which I bought and we're discussing a topic. In this instance, it's some questionable models which have been turned up. We do other stuff live from time to time as well. The point which I'm getting to is that I have come to the decision that over the next month or so, I will be winding down my activities on YouTube. Now, I just want to put this just to like stress, this is nothing which you've done, and this is purely just to my own choice, is that I refuse to work for $1 an hour or something like that. It's just not economical. Now, we can of course factor in affiliate commission. So I think looking over the last month, I think it averaged out about $10 a day. So for you kind of do the maths, you can probably now understand why it's not really of interest financially for myself to do it. It's not covering the amount of outlay. Now, I'm not saying that we can't have fun with some of this stuff which just turned up. I can guarantee you that I'm going to stick 1 or more rockets to 1 or more models here very shortly, and we'll see them go up in smoke. And but the stark reality is that there are other things which require my attention. And as such, I've got about a fortnight's worth of videos which are in the backlog, still in the backlog, waiting to go out. And I will start publishing those over the next over the next 2 weeks. There's a collection of models which I need to clear the decks with. Okay, so for example, I've got the Skyhawk 2, which is literally just sat here on the desk. That's gonna, if I again assuming that I'm up early enough tomorrow, we'll go out and fly and we'll see what it's like. So I've got this one. I've got the right wing Recon model down there, a model which I've had here for a little while. I've just not had we've had some interesting teething issues with it, which is to be expected. It's not even a fully released model at the moment, so just needs a bit more nose weight, to be brutally honest, so we can get that one up and flying. There's also a model from Ewan as well. Now, it's a bit embarrassing because I maybe should have checked the model's name, but rather embarrassingly, I've forgotten the model's name. And again, apologies for that, but I have been on holiday for the last week or so, so honestly, models in general have not been my major priority. My major priority has been diving in the pool and having fun with the kids, you know, and giving some wife some attention. So like I said, there are a collection of things which need to be wrapped up. Now, I'm in no rush to wrap those up at all. I'm looking forward to flying this one tomorrow. It looks a bit odd, and I've got no idea how well it's going to fly at all. But we'll chuck it and see if it flies or not. I've not set it up with FPV gear because I ran out of time before I went away on holiday. There are some models which I need to finish up. There are some projects which I need to finish. You've just seen me unbox a whole collection of models here. So over the next month or so, we do have quite a lot for us to cover, but I will be very, very much winding down what I'm doing. I'm just thinking the week before I went on holiday, in fact, for the 2 weeks before I went on holiday, I think I recorded at least 1 video per day, sometimes 2. And when you account that if we're talking a 30-minute episode, By the way, I'm sure there's some chat going on down the side, and I will get to that in a moment. Is that if we assume that, this is an example, we've got a 30-minute episode. Okay, so we've got 30 minutes of recording. By the time that reaches you, it has taken 1.5 times that, so it's taken another hour and a half on top. So that's 30 minutes for editing, 30 minutes for rendering if we're lucky, and then another 30 minutes for uploading. So that's an extra hour and a half on top minimum. Okay, and then whatever time it takes me to make a thumbnail image for it, a title, description, which some of them are quite long. I don't know if those of you who've seen my other videos, that some of them are very, very detailed. And then do the keyword spam on the bottom as well. So you can be talking up to 2 hours or more in many cases for just a 30-minute video. And if I'm only earning $3 a month for that one video, I'm sure you'll agree the economics just don't work. But I'm not going away. I want to stress that. I very much enjoy RC, and I want to thank all of you. And again, that's not like a goodbye thank you. I want to stress that. I'm just being real here. It's just not worth my time to focus on creating video content for this specific area. Okay, and that's brutal. I know it's brutal, and I know some of you are going to be annoyed at it, and I am putting off looking at your chat. But I hope that makes sense. Remember, this was only ever meant to be a year project, and we're now like 2 years in or something scary like that. So we've gone way over estimated budget to begin with. But the reality is that things have got to pay bills at the end of the month. Many of you know that my teacher stroke software developer, and it makes more sense from a family perspective, and again, spending a week away now with the kids and the family and stuff, is that they have to come first. And I can earn more, I can do more with software than what I can do with YouTube. So that is the brutal reality of where we are right now, and I hope that you can appreciate that. And I am going to get to your comments now. So like I said, it was going to be in 2 parts. This second part, I can understand for some of you may not be the news which you were looking for. And yes, Lauren, that might be a bit of a surprise, to say the least. Yeah. Oh, howdy, Brad, by the way. I'm just down here looking at my chat. My chat's slowly filtering through. You might be able to see it on the phone. It's only slowly kicking through. Yes, absolutely. So a quick look. Yeah, let's have a look. You should be doing it because you enjoy it. If it's for the money, you're barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, absolutely. It's an awkward one. All I'm saying is that for the interim, I'm going to be taking my focus elsewhere. There are things which I need to catch up with externally, outside of the world RC. And again, I just want to stress, I really enjoy this. This all started by accident, literally by accident. I saw a video on YouTube of some quadcopters chasing through some woods with the little LEDs on the back. Really looked like Star Wars. Was absolutely hooked and thought it was amazing. Got the nod from the missus to go and sink the best part of £1,000 into. I bought Tyrannus, Fat Shark V3s, a whole load of kit as well. I don't think it wasn't £1,000. It was probably more like 600 quid or something, maybe a little bit more into this. And then decided that I really didn't like multi-rotors at all. They were really hard to fly, and they were not very spectatorish at all, and they really went for me. And then I saw a video of Sir Bruce chucking around an AXN Cloud Surfer, and then learned to fly with those. One of those, it was literally just, well, not going to hurt anybody. Let's chuck it. I learned to fly with a fixed wing model, and I'm so glad that I did, because we're over 2 years down the road now, and I've had absolute whale of time, to say the least. So yeah, don't think for one moment I'm going away from the hobby and I won't be posting videos. In fact, there's I'll get to your comments in a moment. Is that while I was away, in fact, while I've been away twice now, is the first time I went away and saw some seagulls flying, and they're literally, while I was away now, over in Spain, there's some, I don't know if it's a swift or a swallow. I'll do my research on this. It's the ones with the little V-tails in their tails in the back. And I was absolutely in awe at their flying nimbleness. And that's two projects which I'd like to go and do in the future. I've got 20, 40 maybe sheets of Depron over there, and I'm going to do a little bit of scratch building. Many of you know that I'm not really into scratch building at all. There are reasons why I don't watch a certain YouTube channel in the RC arena. I won't cover that right now, and I've had a great big box of Depron over there for ages, but then again I've been waiting for a project which would get my attention, and I've now got two projects which are going to get my attention. I've got no idea how they're going to work. I kind of know the format of the videos already, but those are going to be much longer, slower projects, which is that when I'm not editing videos anymore, and I'm doing some software dev, for example, is that I will pop across the desk, work away on it, and we might have a time lapse or something like that, and then we'll go out and fly it. But that will be spread over a week, or could be even a month. So that's the reality of where we're now. And again, I'm just going back to Chris's comment about the thing, don't do YouTube for money, just do it for yourself. And absolutely, that's what I've been doing it for. I've been doing it for myself. And the money side at one point was interesting. But the brutal reality is now that it is not really of interest at all. Factor in how much can be earned elsewhere, and also for the focus towards family. So it's not, the focus after, it's not an easy choice. In short, that's what I'm trying to say. And I think I've witted on loads, and I think I really should get that chat back on the screen so it catches back up as well. Let's have a quick look. Lauren says, will the Facebook group still be around? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, the Facebook group was there to be able to ask daft questions on my part, and also to promote upcoming episodes as well. That's still very much fit for purpose, if that makes sense. So the group will still be around. All I'm just saying is that I need to be around the family a little bit more, and that requires that I need to spend my attention. So if you think that each video can take 1.5, 2 times at least, so like 30 minutes in, it then takes an additional 2 hours on top for every 30 minutes, potentially. It's just, I need to focus on my family. I'm only given, and you're only given, a certain amount of hours in every single day, every single week and month, and I hack the living daylights out of my days as it is. Many of you know that I'm a 5 o'clock kind of guy. I'm up very early. I get stuff done first thing in the morning, and there are unfortunately better uses of my time than YouTube, and family is the biggest reason for that. So I'm sure that makes sense. But like I said, I'm not going away. I'm not going to never post another video on YouTube like you've just been seeing here. I've got a lot of stuff to get cleared down, and that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. I want to get that out there. I'm sure there'll be some chit chat about it in the Facebook group. There's a link to the Facebook group, by the way, down in the video description. Shameless plug for that. 2,700 something pilots in there now. All the cool people. We've kind of weeded out the less than desirables. And unfortunately, there's been a few of those, and we've been left with some very, very cool people, which many of you, which are in the chat right now. So, right. Yeah, just the Brad singer put the nail. And again, you can see the chat going on there. I'm not disappearing. I'm just taking a step back. I need to reevaluate things which are going on. So that's it on that note. Like I said, I won't be going anywhere particularly quickly because we've got a whole, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 or so models, maybe 9. Can't remember that. We've got that one there as well to get out of the way. So it will be a clearinghouse. And also, like I said, there's another model which I need to ping Ewan later, which is very, very curious. I know the guy's been spending quite a lot of time on the research and development on that one. And personally, I'm really looking forward to giving it a punt, because I think it's only about 90 quid or so. And I think that's a good price point for what looks like it's going to be a really good model. So we'll get that. I'll get that one paid for tonight. and we'll be seeing that one early next week as well. We might even have a live unboxing for that one. So there we go. We have had multiple models here. Again, I was on the interwebs before I went away on holiday. They've all kind of like turned up while I've been away. I need to go and shoot. I need to go and get some shut eye. It's been a very, very long day for me today. What time is it? It's 9:20. I've been up since 7 o'clock European time. So it's 6 o'clock this morning, maybe a little bit early. And I'm way past my bedtime. And I'm supposed to be going flying tomorrow as well. So that's where we are right now. If you have any questions or comments about anything which you've been seeing here live here this evening, please just ask in one of two places. You can either do that in the comments section underneath this video on YouTube, or you can nip across to the FaceBalls group, and there's a link to that down in the video description as well. So that's it from myself, Matt. It is not a long goodbye. It's just me saying I've got quite a lot here. I've got quite a lot on getting on, which I need to do in the real world, if that makes sense. But I'm not really going very far. I'm always going to be around, and you're definitely not getting rid of me anytime soon, to say the least, because there's quite a lot to get out the door. So on that note, for myself, Matt, I'm going to take a wander over those boxes in the orifice to get to the desktop to go and shut this down. So I really want to say a massive thank you to you, well, number one, for taking the time to join me here live this evening, and for what's going to come in the future. We're going to see a slight little shift in what's been going on. So anyway, on that note, for myself, Matt, cheerios.